Hello everyone. It's been a while since I've done a video, so let's get started. Eurosatory, whatever, however you pronounce it, 2022, Rheinmetall unveiled its newest, latest, and greatest machine, the KF-51 Panther. Panther, I've heard that somewhere before. Anyways, what are the key takeaways from this reveal? Let's start with the main gun system. It's got a 130 millimeter main gun that has this weird shroud thing over the main gun. Doesn't matter. 12.7 millimeter coax, which is pretty awesome because behind the commander, it's got, or the in the back of the turret, it's got a remote control weapon station that has the ability to mount, I believe, several different weapon stations. 7.62 could be back there for air defense or for advanced situational awareness, urban terrain, you name it, wherever you may need to have a gun that's mounted that can have a really significant ability to protect the crew from a protected environment. I'm sure it's going to have a really tall azimuth engagement, so it's going to be able to reach pretty much vertically to be able to engage threats, or it can only depress so much without shooting the crew. The 130 millimeter main gun, this is going to be a significant one because you think from a supply chain standpoint and you think from a NATO standard, most NATO armor is utilizing the 120 millimeter NATO round, right? What does that mean for the 130 millimeter? Is everybody just going to start throwing 130s in the Leclerc and the rest of the Leopard 2 series, or is everybody going to have to invest in this new KF-51 platform? We shall see. Rheinmetall is stating that compared to the current 120 millimeter systems, the FGS delivers over 50% greater effectiveness at significantly longer ranges of engagement. The FGS can fire kinetic energy rounds as well as programmable airburst ammunition and corresponding practice rounds. So it's going to have the standard complement of rounds, including the new rounds that are being developed, like the AMP, or the European equivalent. Pretty awesome. Now, when they say that they are able to hit at over 50% greater effectiveness at significantly longer ranges of engagement, of course, they're going to be able to have, there's more square footage inside the main gun, so they can have a higher chamber pressure, which means they can shoot further. My question is, can they identify and get a turret pen at range? And we're talking 50% greater range than is currently being able to be engaged by 120 millimeter systems. That's saying something. I want to see it. I really want to see it. I want to see the actual the armor thing. I mean, there's so many T90s that are lying around in the Ukrainian conflict. We should be able to huck one of those on an IL-76, take it out to a range, push it out to undisclosed meters, and shoot it with a freaking Sabo round, 130 millimeter Sabo round. Take a look and see what it does. All weapon systems are connected to the commander's and gunner's optics and the fire control computer via the fully digitalized NGVA architecture. What is NGVA? That stands for the NATO Generic Vehicle Architecture, which is a standard for military vehicles. It proposes an open architecture approach to land vehicle platform design and integration, and standardizes the interfaces and protocols of vehicle subsystems. In normal human terms, I imagine that this means that you are able to seamlessly plug and play components from a Challenger 2 into a French Leclerc or the Panther KF-51 and vice versa. So apparently this enables both a hunter-killer and a killer-killer function, and thus instantaneous target engagement in the future, which is also going to be supported by artificial intelligence. This is something to keep an eye on to see what they mean by this, because it's obviously already in development, if not already in test. It features a two-man turret with an autoloader. An additional operator station is available for a weapons and subsystems specialist, or for a unit commander, like a company commander, battalion commander, cavalry commander, or squadron commander, whoever you want to put in there, can fit in that extra spot. The autoloader holds 20 ready rounds. Now, this is interesting. There's no further information on how many other rounds are going to be held in like a semi-ready, the carousel, or wherever else in the tank. Top attack protection system. This is a new, pretty neat platform. And so this thing also has an APS that could defeat loader munitions or top attack ATGM, such as the Iranian Tupfan, or if I even said that right, or the Russian Kornet. More to follow on that. Let's see the testing. Let's see the videos. I want to see it in action. Next thing, the Hero 120 loitering munition connectivity. Now, what is the Hero 120? It stays aloft for about an hour. It has a range of about 60 clicks, and it really helps out the crew because you are not exposing yourself to enemy fire. You have beyond line of sight, which means you could be 2, 3, 4, 15 terrain features if it's got a 60 click range, as long as you have the ability to connect with it. You can see way out in front of you, and you can identify threats. You can communicate those threats to the rear. You could, of course, start doing some call for fire. You can get close combat attack, close air support. You can also engage the threat if it's a minimal threat or whatever the case may be. You can engage a threat without exposing yourself to the enemy. That's pretty cool. This is a modular layout platform, which means that they have laid this out so that you can have a bunch of new line replaceable units pulled in and pulled out as systems and form factors change, develop, get smaller, or whatever the case is. That's pretty cool because in many tanks, what you see is what you get. There's not much more you can change to it. You have a limited amount of space in there, and if you start removing stuff, you may have to do a complete overhaul of the tank. This sounds like it's going to be a lot more amenable to adding new cool stuff onto it. Next thing I want to talk about is the Rosy smoke obscurance system. If you have to get out of Dodge, it doesn't hurt to have an advanced smoke system on your side. Unlike conventional smoke protection systems in use in the world today, Rosy is able to generate dynamic smoke screens as well as spontaneous large area and multispectral interruption of the line of sight. Rosy thus provides sustained protection for moving and stationary objects. Moreover, its multi-mission capability represents a sure defense against stream and wave attacks. It also has the capability to launch tear gas, flashbangs, and this may help with getting people off of the tank or away from the tank. Due to its integrated IR jamming and decoying capabilities, Rosy effectively counters conventional weapons with optical devices, and laser and distance measurement. It also has a panoramic SEOSS, whatever, optical sensor, and the EMES main combat aiming device, which is basically like a German CITV. It's massive, and it's there. And I'm really excited to see this thing out in action. I'm excited to see the videos of this thing shooting and what the top attack protection system can do. I want to see so much more about this. This really is a tank to watch. Check out the Instagram feed, check out the Facebook feed, Tankers and Takers Official on Instagram. We'll try and keep you up to date as best we can. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic evening.